Good morning. This is Grateful Ed. Hope you're having a fantastic day. It's a great day to be alive and a great day to make this video and send it out to everybody, give my opinion on what's going on in the world, because there's so many things going on in the world I can't keep up. But I want to give a big hello to everybody. Happy Friday. And also to send my love out to everyone. I want to give a big thanks to the people who have given me the benefit of the doubt and that are working at higher levels in order to, make sure the story gets told and the truth comes out about what's going on. So, anyway, I think the number one story here is President Trump, okay? And there's a lot of things I can say, but I got to stick with the core beliefs that whether you like the man or not, the presidency is, in a way, it's been sold to us as a popularity contest. Okay, who's the cool kid on the block, or who's going to help me in my plight more, as far as getting ahead in the world. Okay, so Biden's been handing out these checks. Somehow he won, this election. And let me just say it this way, okay? Whether you like the man or not, our country and our values and our standing in the world, as far as being the world leader, he embraces those policies just as much, or well, more than any president than I've had the experience of since I was alive. And my best example, has been Ronald Reagan. Reagan inspired you, okay, to be patriotic and to want to do a good job for your country, okay, and that we are in this together, okay, as Americans. Really to bring back patriotism and respect to America at a time when that was down. It was really, really down after the Carter administration. And even though I was young, we were all, we were young men, okay, you felt it and you knew it and okay, how can I say it? You wanted to do better for your country in order to turn that tide of patriotism back. Okay, and it's very evident to me that President Trump has done that on a much larger scale at a time when there's so many attacks against us. Now, these attacks are coming from the press, and they're coming from our own government, and they're coming from, outside adversaries, from our biggest enemies, okay? So he turned the tide on that, okay, number one. Number two, he gave more people more opportunities to take care of their family, I'll say enrich or better their lives, more opportunity, okay? And, the other thing I want to say about that is the people who understand that more than anybody are the people who have immigrated to this country, okay, under communist regimes. And I'll point out Vietnam, and I'll point out Cuba, and I will also point out Philippines, okay, as examples of if you lived under communist rule, okay, no matter how it's disguised, okay. So these are I'll say mothers and fathers, okay, who will stand up because they know if you don't stand up for what you feel is right in your country, there are people in the government and the people with the money and the people with the power that are come to take that away, okay. So, we're, if you look at Biden, okay, it's a failure, okay, the administration all across the board, it's a failure, okay, we're on the brink of World War III, okay. If you look at the bank failures, our system is collapsing. When it was, we were prosperous under Trump, okay? And it seems like he brings that into his endeavors. You got to keep that in consideration. Do you want a leader like Trump, or do you want a leader like Biden that's going to put us all in the poorhouse? All right. Then there's look at this, the bank failures, and I think there's more to come about that. The other thing I wanted to say is the weather warfare. Okay. I think it's just another way that the government has used their tools that they've developed over the ages, okay, under the military-industrial complex, in order to use those tools against them. And the same way with the chemical attacks. Okay. There's some things happening, the barges, and there was the barge sunk in Ohio River, and then something happened, Minnesota, or another train derailment with the chemicals. Okay, I think this is just a way of the big business disguising these chemical attacks against us and the people. So, and of course in Ohio, East Palestine, those people, they've been devastated, okay? And the government, they don't care, This is just an example where they come on TV, say they're testing, say everything's fine, it's just a big cover. And I understand the reason why they didn't throw any resources in there is because that's Trump country, okay? So right then and there, my heart goes out to those people because the fight is there, and the fight is with each one of us in order to stand up and speak our mind. Okay, and the other thing is the border crisis. If you look at the border, it's a disaster, human trafficking, child abuse, child trafficking, drug trafficking, at these at levels to where it's how can I say it? It's you're overloaded. Okay, you're overloaded, and I think that's part of the plan in order to overload the authorities, overload the border control, overload the drug enforcement, and to have so many really lethal drugs on the street, not just, these aren't your mushrooms or buttons, this will kill your ass, a little speck. I don't know about these things, but I've learned about it, just like we all, and mothers and fathers that are losing their children because of that, because of one time, it's a tragedy, and we got to stand up to that. We really do. The other thing I want to say is Biden's focus on Ukraine. That uncanny way of just focusing your time and your attention on Ukraine, why they have so many things hidden there and so many things invested there. I'll just put it that way. Okay. But, the last thing I want to say about this is I was talking about our adversaries. You talk about North Korea and their saber rattling. Very dangerous regime. And you've got China and you've got Russia. So all these things together, happening at the same time, I really do believe it is all coordinated in order to, take the final, the final country, which would be the United States of America. We have to stand up for what we believe in because, and I got to ask myself again, if America's so bad and, if we've been sold this bill of goods about being non-patriotic, about division and racism and everything in order to separate us by groups and classes, okay, why in the world does everybody want to come here? Okay, because they've already captured the biggest part of the world, okay, and this is their last grand prize. If they can capture this, the United States of America, capture our banking system, capture our country, capture the hearts and minds of Americans who want to stand up, for democracy, then they will win. And it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen on the Americans' watch. I truly believe there's no way. Okay. So when it comes to President Trump, okay, and it comes to this prosecution, I heard about it like everybody did last night. And, I just want to point out a couple things. And this is just my opinion, okay? My opinion, take it for what it's worth. I've been wrong before, do your research. This is how I see it. Number one, the statute of limitations is up on this Stormy Daniels thing. And the statute of limitations is up. What can I say? You know, and you're still trying to go forward. That should be a signal, okay? The other thing is, it's in the state of New York, okay? And, you know, it's my opinion, you know, ever since Trump broke away from the Democratic Party, okay, in the state of New York, then they've been after him. And this is just part of the witch hunt. The witch hunt continues on. So, the other thing that's real important is the federal prosecutors. I understand. Okay, I understand the federal prosecutors decided not to try this case when they tried to push this phony false narratives up, you know, to bring charge, because they said it would not hold up, you know, many reasons, but number one for me is the freaking statute of limitations is up, right? Okay, so, you know, state of New York. And then I got to throw this in there, man. You know, what's in a name? What's in a name? My man up there, he trying to prosecute. It's a political hit job. His name is Bragg. You know, so what's in a name? I don't know. That's how I see the world. Okay, I don't know the man, don't know of him. He may be put in this position because he got himself in too deep somewhere. But somehow, some way, this is a political hit job against President Trump. Okay, so before I get long-winded, I took a look. I didn't listen to it, but I took a look at, well, I listened to a little bit of it, okay, because I can't take too much of it. But I was listening to MSNBC. And, you know, they were all giddy. They're all hands on deck like they usually do, because they had some kind of new thing to talk about. I don't know if they use it psychologically to rally their base in order to say, yeah, we're going to get Trump this time. You know, this is a big prosecution. This is a big one we've all been working for, and it's going to happen. Okay, and, you know, it's bullshit. You should have, it's pathetic. You know? They were whooping it up, you know, and just having a big old time about it. And I'm like, here's the way I see it, and here's the way I see the world. Okay, as usual, okay, President Trump, he's going to weather this storm. Okay, not only is he going to weather the storm, okay, he's going to use this in order to make his campaign that much stronger and that much more viable, and make a bigger case why he should be president. Okay, and again, you know, he will take all their tactics, which are petty and made up and phony and false, okay, on these accusations, right, and turn that into a victory and turn that against the people that are trying to ruin his name and have the false witness against him. Okay, so, you know, I'm going to end it by saying, you know, President Trump was right about a lot of things. Okay, he was right about the First Amendment. President Trump was right about the Common Core and the critical race theory. Very important. Okay, President Trump was right about the border. I spoke about that already, and everybody knows it's a tragedy. Okay, and he was, I mean, from day one, it seemed like, because he knows about their operations, okay, he was working in order to try to secure that border, because if you don't have a border, you don't have a country. President Trump was right about China manipulating their currency, okay, and, you know, on a small scale, I learned about this shit early on, okay, in the Philippines, because I think I spoke about it. Rent was 1,800 pesos a month. Okay, so that equated to $100. Okay, and the exchange rate was 18 pesos to one. So I don't know what happened. It was maybe after Marco. I don't know. I can't remember exactly. But the peso rate went up to $20, or excuse me, 20 pesos to $1. So what happened was my rent went from $100 to $90. Okay, just like that. You know, it was bad. And $10 means a lot. You know, especially when you're struggling. You know, every dollar helps. So, President Trump was right about that. President Trump was right about the trade imbalance with China. Okay. And President Trump was right about Senator McCain. President Trump was right about Clinton. Okay, Hillary Clinton and her never-ending witch hunt. This is an extension of that with her minions and the Democratic Party, and then the Republicans who, wave the flag but are doing deals with the Democrats in the back room. Okay, my opinion on that. The Clinton witch hunt, the Steele dossier, Uranium One, the list goes on and on and on. So, he was right about that. These guys with their server, can you imagine having a freaking classified server at your house? Okay. And then when you say, well, how do you explain that? I've got 2 Secret Service agents watching. It just don't make sense. And then you've got people like Pence and Biden, they got classified documents all over the freaking place. But when it comes to Trump, when he has a valid reason to have these documents, okay, as far as, I guess, presidential archives or something, with a valid reason, the FBI's got to come in and raid him. It doesn't make sense, okay? And I try to make a little laugh about it, but there's nothing funny about it, okay? But if you look at it this way, the comparison, it's apples and oranges, You can tell they're after Trump for political means. Why? Because he's dangerous. He can take their ass out as far as politics, as far as influencing the people, and as far as, taking down the old regime that has held us back for so long. President Trump was right about the Iranian nuclear deal. Okay. President Trump was right about our energy independence. Okay. We don't need any foreign countries. We don't need to pander to any foreign countries and, pretend like we need their energy when we have it all here at home. President Trump was right about the United States military. No one can stop the United States military. Everybody around the world knows that. Okay. President Trump was right about the United Nations. President Trump was right about NATO. President Trump was right about January 6th. And the more Senate investigative hearings that we have about that, the better off we are. And I got to be very careful about this. Okay. But President Trump was right about, if you're having an election, why do you need to bring in suitcases, in the middle of the night? Something's not right with that, okay? I got to watch what I'm saying because I've got so many volatile hits with this YouTube thing. But either way, he was right about all those things. So, in a spiritual battle, God wins in the end, okay? And I believe that the truth and, what's right and what's right for everybody is going to come out in the end. Okay. So that's what I've got. I got a little long-winded, but, I felt like I had to say these things today. There's so many things going on in the world. So, okay. Thank you very much. Have a great day. God bless you. God bless America. And keep on keeping on.